Hello and welcome to another episode of Citadel Adventures. This is Beriathan of the Citadel of Gondor. We're back in the hole under the mountain, but I think we actually need to travel to Dale. We're gonna master in Dale because the quest line that we're about to start does not start in the hole under the mountain. I was at an error there. You actually need to go to Queen Erna in Dale, and she will give it to you. And I think this one is a really nice touch from the developers, cause I mean, you will remember last episode we received a mail from the Queen. That mail is for you to start the dailies, restoring the three kingdoms. But after you get that mail and you go talk to, you will go to the Queen to check those dailies anyways, and that's when you will get access, or you will see you have unlocked the quest line that we're about to start today, the Lay of Rust and Rime. So we just gotta talk to the Queen here inside the Great Keep. I don't remember how long exactly this quest line is, but I assume we'll have enough in our hands for at least an episode or two. But very excited to see what else happens. There we go. So here we have restoring the three kingdoms. Which is still given the scroll of empowerment for some reason, but it's also given enhancement runes. Now, this is a wrapper quest. As you're seeing here, you need to complete 8 quests. This one is a long one to do because you can get the dailies at Felegoth, from Thranduil, from Radagast. You can get some at Loeglond. You can get some in Lake Town. In Dale, you can get some on the Hall Under the Mountain, on Raven Hill. So basically you're running all over the place, and the reputation gain from these quests is actually not that much. We do need to complete this, I believe, the deed associated with these quests, these dailies, for the meta deed. But I think we're gonna leave that for another moment, and we're gonna start the Lay of Rust and Rime. Hail, Beriathan! There has been great unrest in Dale as of late, and much to my dismay, it does not seem to be lessening as we struggle to accommodate both the needs of our peoples and the displaced of Rune. Now, I am told that a man of Lake Town has come to Dale spreading vile, unfounded rumors about someone or something known as the Herald of Winter. Matters of intrigue and rumor are beyond the wisdom of the young prince, and so I have called upon you. You have seen the works of the Dark Lord with your own eyes, and know well the minds of his servants. I am of a suspicious mind about what I have heard thus far, but I will not rush to judgment without knowing the truth to these rumors. Speak to the folk of Dale, hear their words well, and work to calm those you can. Following that, seek out the Lickman and order him to cease his rumor mongering. Whether or not there is any truth to them, no good will come from spreading fear among the people of the Dalelands. There we go. Garlic is very excited to start this questline as well. But before I forget, we can actually complete these. We also have the ability of completing these. We have here the Lay of Rust and Rime. For the time being, that's it. Now, let me also open my deed block really quick. Explore the Forest Gate, no. Ruins of the North, not sure how that one works. We're missing some. Same with the dwarf markers, but here, the Path of the Company, we can do some. And yeah. That's it. Everything ready now, so we can start doing this quest line. This quest line will have you go to all the places we have already visited, and that will give us the chance, I hope, to complete some of this that we have unfinished. If it is not one foe, it is another. When shall there be peace? We're getting soon. We're getting closer to that piece, but there is still a lot to do. So be patient, work with us, and eventually we'll get it. We have not forgotten the hurts done to our people by Smaug. If a cold drake now comes for us, what hope have we? All this talk about the Weeping Warrior and now another of his kind has come to the north? It cannot be. It seems to me that the war would just end it. Can we even defend Dale against another new foe? Who do we have here? Ah, okay. If this Herald of Winter wants Dale, he can have it. We have suffered enough. Well, that's not the spirit. Gotta fight. So much loss. I cannot bear the thought of more. The rumor monger in Dale. Huh. Is he supposed to be here? Ah, yeah, take a look, there he is. Alex's mind speaks loudly and gestures wildly at a crowd of Dale folk.
By water or by road, as they say.
The crowd is down there, friend. Why don't you join them? There's more still to be said. You ask the Lake Man to cease his rumor mongering by order of the Queen Regent of Dale. I have been told all manner of tales by the fine folk of these lands, and know it's a crime when I share them? Well, I never. This very morning I fished with a dwarf of Erebor named Kinlig, and we struck up a fine conversation about the histories and legends of our peoples. Fine enough indeed, that I did not mind my poor catch for the day. The Lake Man lays out a disapproving snort and begins to walk away. Do not think me so imperceptive. I know when I'm meant to leave. I'll be off then, but if the Queen Regent does not approve of my tales, perhaps you should speak to Kinlig instead. Yeah, absolutely. I'll be sure to look for this dwarf. But for the time being, you gotta stop. And this dwarf is also in Dale. How fortunate. Well, it seems he is in Dale, at least. Ah, yeah. Yeah, there he is, fishing and everything. Will we fish with him?
Long live Thorin Stonehelm! King...
What can I do for you, stranger? The fishing is good today, but I am wise enough to know that it is not why you have come. Sit then, and we can speak. After explaining the unrest it has caused among the people of Dale, you ask Kinlig to describe the tale he told the Lake Man this morning. Bah, should have known he'd not understand. We were sharing tales with her to pass the time, and he insisted on trying to surpass everyone I told with one of his own. A boring lot they were, to be honest, but he delivered them with such enthusiasm. When I'd high thought of hearing them, I told him the tale of the Great Rock, for I knew it would end whatever competition he'd imagined between us. Once the kingdom of the Grey Mountains was bountiful, but that bare wealth drew the dragons of the north to its halls. The dwarves of Durin's folk withstood their attacks for many years, but when at last a great cold drake came before the door of the hall, both King Thorin the First and his son Thror fell, and the battle was then ended. Though many of his folk would not soon enough admit it. My ancestors' halls were choked by frost, their hoards were plundered, and in time whatever else they had wrought was brought to ruin. And so it became the Grey Rock, home only to orcs and the dragons of the north ever since. It is a sorrowful old tale, and it is but a small measure of what Durin's folk have endured. I am troubled that this Lake Man did not understand the painful truth of my story. It is not some fanciful tale to be trotted out for the amusement of passers-by. I am sorry for causing such a stir. If the Queen Regent would have me return to Erebor, I will not protest. Well, I will bring the news to the Queen, and we'll let her decide what's the best course of action. Alright, back at the keep. So, what will the Queen say about all this?
Yes.
What is the meaning of all this, Beriathan? We have traveled enough without unfounded tales being spread as truth. What did this rumor monger have to say for himself? You explained that the lake man was embellishing a dwarf legend told to him by a dwarf of Erebor in Dale, and has since departed Dale. You also offer an apology on behalf of Kinlig, as he did not expect such a dark old tale to be shared so flippantly. That is it then? Old stories? I will not ask Kinlig to depart Dale, but he would be wise to keep the tales of his people to himself for a time. As for that foolish lake man, I would like to have a word with him. Rumours are a dangerous matter, and I will not abide such reckless behavior in Dale. Seek him on the roadway to Laketown and deliver him to me at once. That's great. This might give us a chance to, open the door. This might give us a chance to gather the last 2 pages for the lost lore of the Northmen, depending on where this guy is. And I think he is. He is right where we need. Or very close to it. I mean, we can take a look. Basically, there are some ruins between Laketown and Dale that I missed for whatever reason. Last time I rode that path, and that's where you will find those too. Also, at some point, we gotta go back to Laketown and bring the gift to Dagrun, but also complete a hidden deed for the fish flakes, the fish trophies. This is a really nice outfit. I can see why people like it so much. I don't think that's one I would wear myself. Not a big fan of that battle-worn look. I know where it is coming from, but I like my armor to be pristine. Oh, we're about to hit Alak with the dwarves of Erebor. We only need to do a couple more tasks, if we don't get enough reputation for that. Let us keep an eye open for some of those ruins. I don't remember the location of them exactly. Maybe these are the ruins we're looking for. We can check. Bridgethorpe, yeah, these are the ones. So first of all, I'm gonna grab some of these artifacts.
What few knew was that one black arrow survived. 8 lords, 8 arrows. Did you count? It fled the fires with Brantjarn, Girion's son who survived. Brantjarn took the name Brand, hiding all his lineage for shame of his father's failing. And so the black arrow passed secretly from father to son, father to son.
The story is complete. This must be a story Queen Erna told to a young bard II. The black arrows are indeed a legendary weapon, and one of the few things able to pierce a dragon's thick hide. You are gladdened by the continuing friendship between the dwarves of Erebor and the men of Dale. There we go. We have this copy and the Lost Lore. So I was very surprised the first time I completed this quest because it seems the LOTRO team was also doing something very similar to what Peter Jackson chose to do with their Hobbit adaptations, and was trying to provide some sort of backstory for the Black Arrow, some sort of lineage for the weapon, some uniqueness to it. It's not just a Black Arrow and that's it, which is something that at least I thought at first when I read the book, like it was a Black Arrow, but other than that, I didn't get that arrow being any different from any other arrows Bard had. I mean, I guess interpretation can be done. That, I mean, there's still enough room for interpretation for the writers to create that sort of backstory for the Black Arrow and in a way rise up the stakes with a confrontation of Smaug if that is the one of the only things that can pierce it. In my opinion, it was not necessary because you already have that gap in Smaug's armor. That's the real reason why the arrow worked, not because it was a special arrow. At least that's how I interpreted it, but I think it was very curious the way in which the LOTRO team kinda mirrored what the movies did. I'm not sure if it was entirely intentional because maybe they were trying to create this sort of link with the movies, attract more players, or maybe all this stuff about the Black Arrows is set in one of the last tales or something like that I have not read yet. If that happens to be the case, please let me know. I would love to see it. If this is just something that was made up for the movies and the games, once again, I don't see that as necessary, but I think the game was able to flesh it out a lot more. The story with Gernjan, who became Gideon, and then all his lineage and what was special about the Black Arrows, why they went to hiding, all that. I think it makes for a more compelling story. So I don't mind the game version of it as much as the movies. Now, is this where we need to find this man? Yeah. Is he dead under the bridge? Because I don't see him. Oh my god, yes he is. Poor guy. A gruff voice rises behind you. What know you of the Herald of Winter? Answer! You tell me. Tell me what you know and I will spare you a crueler fate. You will answer to the whipping warrior, you miserable man. Yeah, not surprised. Back to Dale it is. Let me see. I think I just gotta grab some more task items from the vault so that I can dump all that task reputation for the dwarves of Erebor, which I think is the faction that's harder to max out. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. Let me just grab really quick.
What news do you bring, traveler?
One stack of these task items. Oh, come on. Yeah, thank you. As you see, I have a lot of them. I've been saving those drops ever since Mordor. I hope I will not need to use all of them, but it's always good to have them, just in case. We'll get a chance of gaining some extra reputation with the dwarves as we go to the Iron Hills, but I'm not sure exactly how much reputation you can gain from that. So I think it's a good backup, having the task item. I have not known you to fail in your charges, Beriathan. What has happened? You explained that the Lake Man was waylaid and slain by one of Karazgar's servants near Lake Town. I see. I feared the servants of the Weeping Warrior had not yet departed these lands, and now there can be no doubt that they remain. I had suspected that the Herald of Winter was one of the Gurshwil, alike in longevity and cruelty to Karazgar, but Kinlick's tale implies that this foe is a great cold drake of the north. Neither of these prospects is heartening, for none in the north are prepared to wage another battle. Before I act hastily, I wish to learn the truth of Kinlick's tale, and so I would have you deliver this missive to Erebor. Innocent blood has been spilled, and this has become a more complicated matter, but I do not intend to strain the friendship between our kingdoms at such a crucial hour. Deliver my missive to King Thorin III, and let us hope he has more insight on what these tales mean for the peoples of the Dale Lands. Let me see... Yeah, gotta talk to the king. So, I think we can actually take the travel skill to the Hall Under the Mountain. So let me do just that. And yeah, I guess we'll have to go to the task fort later. But yeah, let us go to King Thorin. Alright, here we are. So, now we go to King Thorin III. And let us see. Let us see what he has to say. Should we write? Yeah, we should write. Hail, Beriathan. What is that you have there? You offer Erna's missive to King Thorin III, and he begins to read it. After a long pause, he begins to speak. I share Erna's concern about these tidings, and I too mourn for such a needless loss of life. But there is something deeply troubling about what you has told me. It would seem Kinlick told you of the many evils of the great cold drake, Vethúg Wintermind. But his tale does not match what the Lakeman told the folk of Dale. There is talk enough of frost and ruin to be certain, but this is an old tale of an old foe. And so this is what troubles me. Vethúg Wintermind has never been known as the Herald of Winter, not to Durin's folk, and not to the orcs of the north. Whatever else the Lakeman was told, it must have come from Lake Town and from the mouth of one of those wretched men of Mordor. Whether the Herald of Winter is indeed one of the Gurshwil, I cannot yet say. I will send word to Erna at once, and we shall speak of what is to be done. When the time comes, I would ask that you return to aid me in this matter. So you see, this was first released as weekly content. That's what this red line in here is all about, but everything is available, of course. And we got the title, great, the deed, sorry. So we gotta complete 16 of this. We already have the first one, Loose Tongues in Lake Town, let us go. These rumors do not make sense to me, Beriathan. Vethúg Wintermind is no foe of Dale folk or the Dale Lakemen, and he has not been seen in hundreds of years. if he even still lives, for what reason would he now abandon his hordes to assail our lands? No. That lake man must have believed a connection existed between this Herald of Winter and Vethúg Wintermind, but that cannot be so. The source of these rumors must have come from some unrest in Lake Town. Unlike Durin's folk, they have had much to contend with as of late. I hear a new master has been named, and I would have you speak to them of these rumors. I do not believe they merely spread from a lake man's imagination, and I would like to know the truth of the matter. Well, we need to go back to the master of Lake Town and deliver a gift to her. That's great. That will save us a lot of trouble. We're gonna master in Dale, and from there take the swift travel. But now that we are back in Dale yet again, I think I'm just gonna... Oh, what the heck. Let us do this. And let us do some of these tasks. There we go, completed ally to the dwarves of Erebor. Let us check that before we continue doing the rest of things. I'm gonna remove this one. So we have the new reputation standing in here, that's great. Didn't want to do this off camera, now we are only missing the kindred tier. Well, not only, but we're making progress. Anyway, so we have the title and the points. You have reached ally status with the Dwarves of Erebor. 15 LOTRO points, okay. Let us continue. Let us keep doing some of this. Alright, this is the last one. There we go. Now we can grab the Stablemaster.
What's your need?
Lake Town. There we go. So, before we go to the Master, before we go back to Dagrun, let us look for the fishing trophies. I think I'm missing one or two of those. I think one of them is here, inside the trading hall. Ah, there is a second floor in here. Yeah! Oh my god! Yeah, there we go. That's the only one that we were missing. Ah, this is so simple once you realize what it was. Completed here. Fishy, fishy, fishy. We got some extra reputation as well. Let us check the deed. Some marks on the title Fishmonger. You have explored Lake Town in great detail. Yeah, I was just missing this one upstairs. That's great. Well, I'm glad to see that I was very thorough in my exploration of Lake Town the first time I came in here. I just missed that one, but the other ones were done. There are 20 trophies, so I think we did very good, all things considered. And now, just gotta talk to Dagrun. A gift for the Master, first of all.
Good day to you.
What is this? A gift from Mervarth? You hand her the statuette. She looks confused until she reads the engraving and then bursts out laughing. Mervarth! He likes to give me a hard time for being humble. You're master of all of Lake Town now. Throw your weight around a little. This will go on my desk as a reminder of my station and a reminder that I should do something nice for Mervarth one of these days. Thank you for your part in this, Beriathan. Yeah, that was great fun. I'm glad you liked the gift.
Here we are then.
What can I do for you, Beriathan? You inform Dagrin that King Thorin III has grown concerned that a rumor implying a connection between the cold drake Vethúg Wintermind and the Herald of Winter has been spreading from Lake Town. I admit I heard the rumor, but I dismissed it in my haste to restore order in Lake Town following the death of the Master. However, I do not recall hearing that cold drake's name in any of the tellings. It is hard on the tongue of my folk, and I would have remembered it. As for the Herald of Winter, I know little. The rumors spoke of a great army rallying far to the north under the Herald of Winter, but who could remain to command such a force? The enemy is defeated, it is nonsense. However, I have heard tales of strange men about the docks at night loading suspicious bags of cargo onto the boats and rafts. My guards claim to have seen no such men, but if you were to investigate this matter, I would rest easier knowing all of this is just a story that got out of hand. Truly, really, I can only do this at night? So I just gotta sit there waiting for God knows how long, waiting for nighttime to come? Oh, come on. Alright, so yeah, we had to wait until night. I decided to edit that out, spare you the time I spent running around town trying to decide what to do and if it was worth it, and just jump straight into it. And here we have the suspicious cargo. The vital remains of several cold-drakelings have been stuffed into this sack. Disgusting. And really easy to find when you are at the right time of day. I mean, I get it why they chose to do it this way. It's suspicious cargo after all. And it shouldn't be lying around at the light of day, but that makes it tricky under certain situations. I mean, had I remembered this was the case, had I remembered that you needed to do this at night, I would probably have waited a little before starting the entire episode, but what can you do? That's the line? Bathroom? Oh my god. Guys, there's another one over here. Some of you should come over. Now, come on. Yeah, no, I totally ran away from where I needed to be. I mean, I did see some of those suspicious cargo sacks, but trying to remember the layout of the town and where to go to, how to get to the lower levels, to the docks, and all that so that we can grab it. Barbershop, yeah, no, I've already been there. Okay, here's another one. Just two more of this. We seem to be on the right track. I have no idea how to get to that one. Or there. Okay. Perfect. Now. Just missing another one. Suspicious cargo. Ah, it's on the other side. Oh, jeez. Other side. Holy god. Going around town shouldn't be this difficult. There we go. Search for more signs of foul play in Lake Town. Scatter drops of blood snake through Lake Town. So I gotta follow the trails of blood then. Ah. Or this is where the trail begins and then you come through here. Yeah. You have arrived at the old smuggler's den within Lake Town and you hear hushed voices within. You are close enough to listen through the window. Okay. Let us see. It is on then? I run them up as you ask, but what is this all for? The Weeping Warrior wishes to send a message to the north, a reminder, if you will. I see, but why then has he gone into the forest? That is not concern of yours. Alright, that's not much, but hopefully it's useful. Back to Dagger then. There we go.
Well met, friend.
You say that agents of the Weeping Warrior have been smuggling slain drakelings right under our noses? What grisly business! We have seen none of their kind in the north since Smaug of old fell upon Esgaroth. It could be that they flew from the shadows of the Grey Mountains, but I fear they were captured by the men of Mordor and brought hither. I do not find comfort in either of their explanations. You should return to the king under the mountain and tell him that the Weeping Warrior has passed into the forest. I am sorry I cannot be of more aid to his people, but I will do what I can to free Lake Town of his servants. Alright, back to Thorin. Once again, okay. You see, this is what I thought. That quest line started with King Thorin. How many times have we talked to him already? And this seems to have more relation with the dwarves than the men or the elves even, so... I mean, it explains a lot. There is much to consider from what you have told me, Beriathan. I have not met with King Thranduil since I became king under the mountain, but he and my father came to something of an understanding long ago. In time, it grew into a friendship, but we have not forgotten our conflicts of old. When it comes to matters between elves and dwarves, I know well enough to keep our people separate. Even so, the Weeping Warrior has now passed beyond my realm, and now he lurks within Eryn Lasgalen. I cannot allow an enemy of our peoples to pass unchecked through the north or threaten the friends of Durin's folk. Hail, Beriathan! I have not met with King Thranduil since I became king under the mountain, and I think it should remain that way for a time. Our peoples are friendly, but we do not impose on each other's realms. When Durin's folk and the elves have met in the past, things have not always gone well. Intentions have been misread, and iron talked needlessly. There was not always such friendship between our peoples, my friend, but my father and King Thranduil put things to right after the Battle of the Five Armies. But diplomacy is now my burden. I have prepared a token of peace for King Thranduil, and I would have you delivered to him on my behalf. It is a token he alone will understand, and it will quell any doubts he has of his friendship with Dunin's folk. Once you have delivered it to him, tell him of the Weeping Warrior's presence in Eryn Lasgalen. He will know what is to be done. Token of peace. Okay. What is this? You pick up a small and adorned pouch. So it's just the pouch, not what's inside a pouch. Okay. Yeah, I don't get it. But Thranduil surely will. So the easiest way, the fastest way, would be grabbing the Stablemaster.
How can I be of service?
Felegoth, right here. There we go. Now, I don't know what will happen exactly, but this would also be the time to grab some of the missing locations for the Path of the Company did. As a matter of fact, I tried finding them as I was waiting for nightfall to advance the previous quest. It didn't go well, as you can see. I didn't find not one of those places near Loiglond. I'm not sure why. I think I was close to the right spot. We'll see how close as I find those locations. For the time being, we're gonna talk to Thranduil. We'll see what he needs. And hopefully that'll give us the chance of riding back to Loiglond so that we can grab the locations that we need. Now we got an enhancement rune. Let us check it. Yeah. Not a big deal. There we go. What is this, Beriathan? You offer the small pouch to King Thranduil. He opens the pouch to examine its contents, and his face betrays some small measure of amusement. Do you know what King Thorin bade you deliver to me? It is a pouch of gold coins, and this trifling gift tells me more than hours of words between us might. He wishes to demonstrate a degree that sees the last of his name need no longer be feared. I had no quarrel with King Thorin before his death, but I appreciate such a gesture from the new king under the mountain. Now then, I do not believe that it is the only reason you traveled all the way to my halls. You informed King Thranduil that Karazgar has returned to Eryn Lasgalen for an unknown purpose. It seems Karazgar's charge eludes him still. If what he seeks lies within my realm, then we must seize this chance to ensnare him. The scouts of Felegoth stand ready, and I would have you direct them. See that they scout the lands around Loiglond, Folcat, Tamaildir, Torech Emel, and the eastern reaches of Eryn Lasgalen. I would also ask that one search the ruins of Carazgar, but they are to speak to none but me of what they find. When you guys send them off, return to me. The scouts, okay, they are inside Felegoth. That's great. I will scout the lands around Loiglond and see if Karazgar has passed through them. Okay. I could go with you, you know. That would be great. King Thranduil would not ask any among us to return to Karazgar without cause. I shall do as he commands. We can also use a quick trip to Karazgar just for the Slayer deeds, if anything, but not a big deal. Where are you going then? I shall search Tolkat for signs of the Whipping Warrior. Even he would be wise to avoid the Tower of Rime. Yeah, with Karazgar you never know. Now back to the gardens. Okay. If that is what King Thranduil wishes, I shall travel to the forest edge at once. Do you mean the forest gate? To the west? Yeah, that makes sense. Someone is already going to Loiglon, so there's no point in sending someone else there. Where do we go first? Doesn't matter which way we pick. We still need to do backtracking for the other one. Going back to Thranduil, I mean. Many of the great spiders once dwelt in Torech Emel, but perhaps Karazgar now seeks refuge there. There are still spiders in Torech Emel, from what I remember. Just a few, but there are still some. Oh, come on. Yeah. Cross it. King Thranduil wishes for me to search the lands around Thranduil. I shall see it done. Can I go with you? Because I also need Thranduil for a deed. And I have no idea where that it is. No, that's Ravania Tap. Thranduil and Gartness. Jump it. Come on. I would really appreciate if you could take me to Thranduil at least. I cannot tell what my scouts will find, Beriathan, but I will make certain that you and King Thorin know of it. When you come to Felegoth next, speak to me and I shall tell you what I have learned. God, which one is the next one? Oh my god. Now I can't find the deed. Where is that deed? Okay. Bane of the Elven King, I guess. Yeah. It has been mere days, Beriathan, but I have learned much of things that were beyond our sight. My scouts have traveled much of Eryn Lasgalen and they have discovered far more than we sought. It seems the old mother Iphantemel has become trapped in Torech Emel by the excess of her own appetite. It was she that bound Karazgar and blighted Mirkwood before starting hit within Dol Guldur. It was she who wounded me in that field battle of old. Do not think I have forgotten your purpose in coming here. I have great reason to suspect that the Whipping Warrior remains in my realm. But that matter must be set aside for the moment. If I have guessed Karazgar's true purpose in returning to Eryn Lasgalen, he will not find what he seeks. Indeed, there shall be time enough to find him when this task is done. Iphantemel must be wrought low and her plight forever banished from Eryn Lasgalen. Well, I will enjoy going back and getting rid of her, so yeah, let us go. The time has come. We must put an end to Iphantemel. Yes, please.
At last, Iphantemel has been revealed by the receding darkness of Eryn Lasgalen, and now the remnants of her brood grow thinner with each passing day.
For her gluttony and weakness, they have abandoned her to her fate, but now I fear they heed the call of one even greater, Ungwetári. This is what I remembered, taking care of Iphantemel with King Thranduil. This is gonna be fun. It is quiet here, Beriathan, and I take no comfort in it. Iphantemel's brood has lessened in size of late, but it is still enough to overcome the unwary. My scouts have pressed onward deeper into Torech Emel, and I warned them to tread softly in Iphantemel's lair. Let us hope they have done as I have bidden, or we may soon find ourselves outnumbered. Let us move to join them, but remain on guard. Iphantemel's children lurk in their hiding places, and we may rouse them with careless tips. Come, Beriathan. Yeah, right behind you. The air of this place is foul with Iphantemel's blight. She cannot be far. Hold. It is safe to press on, but we must step carefully. Iphantemel is called the Old Mother in the common tongue, but she cares not for her children, many as they are. It was Iphantemel's unquenchable thirst for the sap of Grimwood the Grey that first drew her hither, but it did not stay her. In the mind of Iphantemel, the forest was to be hers to feast upon, and soon she and her children came to Karazgar. My kin and I repelled the brutes of Iphantemel for 5 years, but such a defense could not hold. When at last Legolas discovered the caves that would become Felegoth, I knew the time had come. Iphantemel and her children overran the slopes beneath Karazgar, and I commanded my people to flee to our new fastness. At once Iphantemel was upon me. As the battle wore on, I was stung, but I dealt her a grievous wound before my retreat. Alas, it was not enough. Many did not live to see the splendor of Felegoth, but those that survived shall never forget the fall of Karazgar. Long has she eluded us, but Iphantemel's evil will be ended at last this day. It is not far now. Let us hasten our pace. Yeah, we're getting close. We have arrived unharmed. Has Iphantemel revealed herself? One of King Thranduil's scouts stands watch at the edge of a thickly wet hollow. We have found her. Iphantemel dwells in a small cavern ahead, but she has sent none of her children against us. I do not understand it. Beriathan, to me. Iphantemel's brood once spread through all of Mirkwood, blighting the land from here to the distant Citadel, and now it seems they have left it in silence. How can this be? What has happened? Do you feel that? Garalith does, for certain. They come, to arms! hold fast. More soon will be upon us. Oh my god, yeah. Iphantemel must not escape us again. Bring them down! Oh, there she is. Can you see it? A bubbling hiss rises through the air, and at once Iphantemel's children seize their attack. Alright, so there we go. Fight's about to start. You ready for this, Thranduil? I do not understand, Beriathan. Has Iphantemel called off her own children? She must know her doom comes, so why does she surrender? I must see her with my own eyes. Let us press on. I do not trust this respite, Beriathan, but the time has come to seek Iphantemel. Lead away. Let us go, yeah? Just waiting here, guys. We'll handle it. Tread carefully. Iphantemel's webs grow thicker. What has become of you, Iphantemel? Why have you allowed me to come forth? Ah, I remember you, Elven King. Come to claim your vengeance upon me at last? Take it then. My time is ended, and my children have abandoned me. Ungwetári has called us to her in the south, but I cannot make such a journey. My legs are weak beneath me, and my body is ravaged with illness. Whether it is by your hand or not, my death comes soon. Do what you wish, Elven King. It matters not. You were once a great foe of my people, Iphantemel, so consider this the only mercy I offer. Iphantemel's massive form falls lifeless to the ground. Good shot. My long hunt for vengeance is finally ended, but it rings hollow. Iphantemel was once a great foe of my people, and it was she who first darkened the eaves of the Greenwood. Yet now, she merely awaited her death, almost welcoming it. Thranduil pauses for a moment and seems uneasy. She spoke a name I have not heard in over an age, but I sense that you knew it well, Ungwetári, the Spider Queen. In truth, Iphantemel was but one of her children. If Ungwetári has summoned all the spiders of her brood back to the shadowed caverns of the Efelduath, we have much still to fear. Let us go from this place, Beriathan. While Ungwetári still lives, Iphantemel's death shall bring me little comfort. Let us go. All the way to the throne room, okay. Well, there you have it. Iphantemel's demise. I gotta say, I was expecting it because that storyline was left open last time we were in Felegoth. But I was expecting the ending of it. It was asking for an end. So I'm glad to see. Well, we were there for King Thranduil's and Iphantemel's final confrontation. That thread was closed, but now we have one more that opens after it. And that's Ungwetári, Sheila. She's been calling her brood, and that's something that we'll need to investigate at some point. But for now, we have more pressing matters at hand. We gotta find what's Karazgar plans, and what can we do to stop them. You have done well to wait me and my king Beriathan. While a few of Iphantemel's children may linger in the forest, the last great evil of Mirkwood is no more. As for the matter of Karazgar, I believe he has returned to seek something within Castilian. I will not send you there, not yet, for this is a matter of great import to me and me alone. I shall search the ruins myself, and when I have need of you again, I will call upon you. Alright, there we go. So, I think this is enough for today. As you can see, this is quite a long quest line, so we need more time to see through. However, this is the end of today's episode of Citadel Guard Adventures. Join me next time as we will continue the Lay of Rust and Rime. For the time being though, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you on the next one. Until then, my friends, stay safe, take care, good luck to you all, and I will see you later.